Hey guys, in this video, I just wanted to announce that I became a billionaire today. I've been juggling back and forth with the idea of like, am I a billionaire? You know, it all depends on who's asking, but today I officially became a billionaire. And feels good, feels good. Wasn't expecting being this rich to be this boring, but yeah, I'll never go below $1 billion again for the rest of my life. I'll always have something going on. If anything, I could always replicate my methods. But I have one business alone that's worth like 700 million. I made a transaction today for roughly about I call it about 100 million. It's a subscription-based business that pushed me to become a billionaire today. All I have to do is build out the product, and yeah. So now is about the time that I announce that if you guys ever need any money or anything, you could always hit me up. If you need like $1,000 or like if you need money for like a car, if I could buy you like a used car, I could buy you like a new car if you're like one of my good close friends, but I don't have any real good close friends. I'm trying to stay conservative with how much money I give out. I had a fart, hold on. So yeah, teaches you something about rich people. I guess I'm not just a human like you. I was born with like royal genes. My grandfather was a project manager, and my mom always liked to own businesses and stuff, and my dad owned businesses. Apparently, he was like a hustler. So for me to become a billionaire only took about 10 years. I'm 30, I would not sell my assets for even $100 million. I would not sell my assets for even $1 billion. Probably would never sell my assets even anyways, because now that I have like two more little tweaks that I need to do before I really start working on building out my projects. I think it's crazy how the cold, raw value of my enterprise is like over $1 billion, and yet I still have no cash. It sounds hard to believe, but it's true. I eat like ham sandwiches and like generic brand potato chips. My diet is probably never going to go too far past like steak and eggs. I'll be eating steak and eggs for breakfast every morning inside my dream house. My dream house is a great house to work from. You guys don't know my mentality. I'm not just all about money, I'm about the grind. The grind gives me energy. The grind is what keeps me going. My status as a billionaire, I don't really care about that shit. I don't care what other people think about me. I always wanted to be cool. Like growing up, I always wanted to be cool. People think I'm cool. And then I grew out of that phase just to find out that other people's opinions really don't matter. We all want to look cool for social media. We all want to look cool for social media. You know, um, I mean, I'll fart on social media. There might come a day where if I'm like taking a shit, I might throw on a video if I have something important to talk about. I am hiring. Uh, I don't know what I am hiring for. Just general versatility of developing a business. You know, if you have if you went to college, if you have a college education, send me a copy of your resume, and I'll probably find a spot for you in my business. But I pay a competitive salary. I don't overpay, and I definitely don't underpay. If you went to college for 4 years, I can guarantee you a $60,000 to $70,000 per year salary. Um, if you know a thing or two about business, you could be like a manager. You know, I could pay you like 100 to 200,000 a year. But then if you have a cool job, that's like an incentive. So I can't even really pay like my if you want to be a person that oversees other people and make sure that things get going, it depends on the level which you apply for. Um, if you want to be like an executive, like a top level manager, you have to have at least like 15 years experience in business. If you want to be an executive, you have to show me that you really know what the fuck you're doing. Because as of right now, I'm just planning on running my enterprise just by myself. I'm gonna see how much I can get done by myself. I don't want a giant team of people that I have to worry about like fucking me over, you know, and slacking off and all that shit. Because employees is what? Employees is overhead. It's like, I just want to see how much I could do by myself. For every employee that I take on is like a risk because I have this money going out and you can't just fire people whenever you want. That's what happened to my grandfather. My grandfather worked at a company for like 40 years and they laid him off 10 years before he was going to retire. So he spent the last 10 years of his life basically struggling, you know. So I'll never make that mistake of hiring somebody just for the sake of like clout or recognition or like, look at how many employees I have. I'm more so the kind of guy where I really do just want to see how far I could go all by myself. Anyways, I'm hiring, you know, and if you stick with my company, if you want to work for me for like your life's work, you know, I'm not confident to say that I'm yet the best boss, so I provide incentives and a promise that if you work for me for like 20 years, I'll pay you like a pension when you retire, if that makes up for it, because I have very minimal experience in handling other people. I had to hire and fire somebody in like the same week this year because I asked him to do something and he didn't want to do it, you know. And how fucking rude and disrespectful is that? It's like I'm paying you $1 million a year not to just sit around the fucking house, but when I ask you to do something, you gotta do it. So when it's time to work, we work. Other than that, do whatever the fuck you want. You know, and I lost contact with that guy like a long time ago. I do good deals. I pay good. I don't do shitty deals, and I want good employees. I don't want slack off ass fucking employees. I want my employees to be careful, full of care in how we conduct things in my business, down to a point, down to a T. If it's something important, you have to be very like precise. What I'm looking for is precision. If you are in a job where you have to be very precise, like to be a doctor or a surgeon or something, and if you can execute properly, you can get like up to and around like 300,000 a year from me if you can execute precisely. If you're the type of person that doesn't crumble under pressure, you know, if you at the end of the day, if you want to be proud of your work, if you want to have spiritual incentives for your work, which you're not supposed to talk about in the workplace, the spiritual incentives are your job when you work for me, first of all, is to take care of your family, take care of your obligations to God and your communities. And that's why I have to I'm either going to conduct this thing all by myself, or I'm going to hire a shitload of people so that you can handle your responsibilities in your real life. You don't have to give up your job in the universe under God to work for me. If anything, I'll just hire more people so that if you have something to do, if you have some business to attend to, if you have to leave work early because your kid scraped his knee on the playground, then you know, go do that. Go handle your business, or I'm just going to do it all myself. So if you want a job, let me know in a private message or comments. I'm building a team. I'm building a team. I'm looking for good people. I don't want shitty people and shitty behavior and bad intentions within my company. There's no spot for people with shitty intentions in my company. I don't want a bunch of Wolf of Wall Street kids working for me. I sell honest products. I know the mentality of a fucking shitty salesman who just wants to scam people. I've been doing this for 27 years. I used to sell dope. So I know kind of what it's like to have to resort to drastic measures in order to put food on your plate. If anything, I offer those people a rehabilitation to make you a better salesperson. Means you can sell a good product a lot easier than you could sell a shitty fucking product. You know, you're not Wolf of Wall Street enough to hang out in my company. And I don't want any bad intentions for our customers in my company. We care about the customer. We create happy customers. Happy customers equals recurring customers, equals more money. My reputation, I'm never going to put my reputation on the line to hire somebody who doesn't get it. I don't hire people with bad intentions. I really do feel like that movie was made as almost like a propaganda to get you to lean to the left. To get you to lean to the left, to say like, oh yeah, you could just get away with blah, 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 but good behavior is always rewarded by God. I'm a good person and I'm a billionaire. Most billionaires are some pretty good people, maybe fiercely competitive, but good people, you know. And we all admire good people, but no one gives a shit about the happy-go-lucky little homeless man who's just a good person and he's real happy, but people look down on people like that. But if someone has billions of dollars, they think like, oh, this guy's a fucking class act. I'd like to get to know this motherfucker. Well, I've been crying for help, trying to find friends for the past like 10 years, and no one ever wanted to be my friend. So now my friends are the Freemasons. I returned back to my fraternity this year and was pretty well accepted as like a part of the club again. So pretty much, yeah, but that's it.